Now, Tua finally got paid. This, in my opinion, was kind of jaw dropping to me. But considering the contract Jordan Love just got and Trevor Lawrence and Daniel Jones from a few years ago, I guess it really wasn't that surprising. I don't know, man. And I know a lot of people love Tua, and that's good for you, honestly. Like, I think he's a decent guy. I think he's a fun quarterback to watch. He's really accurate. But did anybody watch that playoff game in Kansas City? I'm just curious. Like, did anybody watch that game at all? Did the Miami Dolphins and that high-powered offense even remotely close to competing? Like, can you honestly say that team is going to go to Cincinnati next year in the playoffs on the road, or back to Kansas City, or in Buffalo, and they're going to beat all those teams on the road in that cold environment? Like, come on, dude. Like, again, I'm not a Dolphins hater, but like, you got to be delusional to think that until further notice, until they actually do it. And I know anything could happen. The NFL is a crazy place. Life is a crazy place. It's a crazy ride, man. But that was just miserable. That was a miserable game. That was a miserable performance. That was just like the JV team versus, the actual team. It was embarrassing, man. It was really, really embarrassing. And the fact that they gave him that sort of contract, granted, it could have been worse. Could have been a Trevor Lawrence type deal, but still pretty lucrative for a guy that is one concussion away from potentially being done in the NFL. And I know he had a clean bill of health last year. Fair play to him, but 3 concussions in 1 year in the span of 4 or 5 weeks is serious stuff that lasts a lifetime. So that potential of him being one play away from getting knocked out and being out for his career is still on the table. Again, I'm not a Tua hater. I'm just being real, man. Like, CTE, head injuries in general, are something you don't really play with. And he was literally having a seizure that one game, and I can't believe people just throw that under the rug like it's nothing. Like, I don't know. And the whole jiu-jitsu thing, falling correctly, it seemed to work last year, and I hope it works again this year for him. But I guess we'll find out. Now, to take all the injuries and all that risk aside, let's just look at Tua as a quarterback. Again, super accurate guy. I feel like he makes pretty good progressions, but when Kansas City, when Buffalo, when Cincinnati are kind of like the top dogs in your conference, and you're more than likely going to have to go there and win on the road in order to reach an AFC championship game or the Super Bowl, can anyone see the Miami Dolphins doing that anytime soon? Like I mentioned earlier, anything is possible. Anyone could be had any given Sunday, but I'm sorry, that Kansas City game is just burned. It's a burned image in my head right now, man. The whole narrative of Miami could only beat bad teams last year and they're soft because they are a warm weather team. I feel like there definitely is some truth and value to those narratives, and this year will be very interesting for them, man. It'll be really interesting just as far as monitoring to his health and just seeing if they can beat good teams, seeing if they can beat teams in colder environments. I'd love to see it because, like I said, Miami's a great team to watch, man. Mike McDaniel, that running back room, one of the best rushing teams in the NFL. Plus, you got Tua, Jalen Waddle. I mean, just electric stuff. But I don't know. I really feel like most quarterbacks in the NFL could really step in and be successful. Like, what if Trevor Lawrence had that offense? What if Brock Purdy had that offense? I think they would be as successful as Tua, if not more, but that's just my opinion. Let me know what y'all think about the contract. Is it fair? Is it not fair? What would you have done? Do you think any quarterback can step in this offense? I know Tua is really accurate, and I know that's one of his strengths, but arm strength is kind of a question mark. Playing out in the cold is a big question mark. But let me know in the comments. So, officially, the contract is a 4-year, $212 million extension. It's just kind of crazy to think that, 2, 3, 4 years ago, Mahomes got extended for 10 years, $450 million, and that looks like a discount. And Mahomes right now isn't even the highest paid NFL quarterback, NFL player, so these quarterback contracts are just really, really, really getting out of hand, but fair play to Tua, man. Again, I'm not a Tua hater. Seems like a decent guy, honestly. Seems like a decent guy. Seems like a good teammate. Seems like a good leader, but it's just when you have serious health concerns, when your arm is really questionable, and when you have to go to those cold weather environments, I don't know. Personally, if I was the GM, I wouldn't have signed him. I was a really big advocate on the Dolphins trading up or maybe potentially landing Michael Penix. I think that just would have been just an insane match made in heaven. But yeah, I wouldn't have. It's just too risky for me. And right, I also forgot that Dak Prescott also needs a new contract. Jeez, that's a whole other can of worms, but I mean, if the Cowboys hypothetically gave Dak a contract like this or something like this, like, I don't know, it's just the Trevor Lawrence contract really screwed things up because he's not the caliber of he should be the highest paid NFL player. So if Trevor Lawrence could be the highest paid NFL player, Dak could be too. And it's kind of gross to say out loud, but it's the reality of the quarterback market. Extremely inflated. It needs a reset. I don't know what the hell is going on here. These contracts are just, honestly, nauseating. Just nauseating. But yeah, I mean, if Tua can get this contract, who knows? Maybe Dak Prescott will be the highest paid player in NFL history. I don't know, man. I really don't. If I were the Cowboys, again, in that sort of situation, I would not pay Dak Prescott a dime. I would trade him. I'd get the CD Lamb deal done. But we'll see what happens there. I think Dak Prescott and the Raiders would be a good move considering they kind of have a void or at the very least, a big fat question mark at that position right now and going forward, but we'll see what happens there. Let me know what y'all think about this contract. Let me know what y'all think about the quarterback market. Am I being too harsh on Tua? Do you like Tua? Did he deserve this sort of deal? Did Trevor Lawrence deserve that deal? I really put this all on the Jags, GM, and Trevor Lawrence, but yeah, that's all I got for right now. Peace.
The Chargers offense preparing to get this drive underway. Their last possession ended in a touchdown. Phil, let's see if they can do it again.
Very well done. Love what I saw out there on the offense the last time. They mixed it up and they showed a lot of confidence. You can
On his way. The 20, the 10, and he's in for the touchdown. What a play. What